Hi, my name is Carleton, married to Claire. I live just outside Rockcurry. Everybody has their own story to tell. And I just want to take a few minutes now and tell you part of my life story, and particularly what God has done in my life and what God means to me. To take it back to the start, I was born into a family farm. My dad was a farmer and my mum was a nurse. Back in those early days, God didn't really mean much to our family or to our family life. Yes, we went to church on Sundays and on special occasions, but that was more out of a religious duty and a matter of form. We hadn't really any time for God or for the things of God. But whenever I was two, my dad had a very serious farm accident and resulted in him having a spinal injury and being paralysed. Through that accident and shortly after it, both my mum and dad both gave their lives over to God, and our family life really changed from then on. God came into our lives and into our home, and He filled our home with a peace. The Bible talks about God giving a peace which passes all understanding, and God really filled our home with a peace which didn't make sense in our minds, but that only comes from knowing God and from walking with God. So our family home really changed after that. God was now the centre of our family home, and we were brought to church, went to church every Sunday, where we learned more about God and more about Jesus. Even though my dad's accident seemed like a hopeless situation, God took that and He turned it around for His good, and He brought hope into that hopeless situation. There's one verse really sticks out in my head from my childhood days, and it actually hung up on the kitchen wall at home, and it's found in Philippians 4 verse 19, and it says, "For my God will supply all your needs according to His riches in glory." God knows everything we need in life. No matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, God knows what we need. He owns this universe. He created this universe, this world we live in, and out of the abundance of that, He owns it all, and out of the abundance of that, He will, and He is quite able to supply everything we need in our life that we need to go through this life with. And the Bible also tells us about God's love and how He sent His Son Jesus to die on the cross for our sins. The Bible tells us we all have sin in our life, and that sin separates us from God, because God is a holy God. But Jesus came and He died on the cross for all our sins. And even though my mum and dad gave their lives over to God, that did not automatically mean that I did. But at the age of 8, realising what God had done for me, how He'd sent Jesus to die on the cross for me, I just simply asked Him to forgive my sin, and to ask Him to come into my life and help me to live my life for Him and to be the centre of my life. We did that day, and that day really sticks out in my memories, a vivid memory of giving my life over to God. And since then, He's been with me through every step of the way, through all the days of my life. So I went to primary school and secondary school in Carleton, and then went on to college in Belfast to study engineering. I graduated in 2001, and since then I've worked in different jobs. And looking back over these past years since giving my life over to God, there was two things really stick out in my mind. The first thing is, God is faithful. God never fails. Sometimes, many times, I fail God. I let Him down. I let other people down as well. But God will never let us down. He has never let me down. The Bible tells us that He's a friend who sticks closer to us than a brother. Just to know that God never fails us. He never lets us down. There's another verse as well in Proverbs 3 verse 6, and to paraphrase it says, "Give everything in your life over to God, and He will show you which way to go." And if we give everything in our life over to God, every decision, both small and big, He will show us which way to go. God has a plan for each one of our lives. He's a plan for my life and for your life. And as we give our lives over to Him, it's great to walk in that plan that God has for us, because He is the best way for us. He knows the best way for us to go, and He is the best life that we can ever live. So thank you very much for watching.